His name was Harold, 72 years old, retired schoolteacher, loved his grandkids, went to church every Sunday, and by all accounts he seemed perfectly healthy. But one Tuesday morning his wife reached over to wake him up for breakfast and he was cold. Still. Gone. The doctor said it was a massive cardiac event, a heart attack that struck silently while Harold slept. No warning, no cry for help, just silence. And here's what haunts his family to this day. His doctor later told them that 5 simple nighttime habits, things Harold did every single evening, were quietly putting enormous strain on his heart. Things that millions of seniors are doing right now, tonight, without knowing the danger. I'm going to walk you through every single one of them. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this video could save your life or the life of someone you love. Now, before we dive in, let me explain something that most people don't fully understand. Your heart doesn't rest when you sleep. I know that sounds obvious when you hear it out loud, but think about what that really means. While every other part of your body is shutting down, relaxing, and recovering, your heart is still pumping, still working, beat after beat after beat. And here's the critical part. During sleep, your body goes through significant changes. Your blood pressure shifts, your breathing pattern changes, your blood flow slows down. Your nervous system toggles between different modes. For a young, healthy person, the body handles all of this beautifully. But after the age of 60, your arteries are stiffer. Your blood vessels don't expand and contract the way they used to. Your heart muscle may have thickened slightly over the decades. Plaque may have quietly built up inside your coronary arteries, those tiny blood vessels that feed your heart itself. So during those nighttime hours, when your body is going through all those natural shifts, even small additional stresses can become the tipping point, the straw that breaks the camel's back. And that's exactly what these nighttime habits do. They add stress, they thicken your blood, they spike your blood pressure, they starve your heart of oxygen, and they do it all while you're lying there, completely unaware, completely unable to respond. According to the American Heart Association, cardiac events, heart attacks, and strokes are significantly more common in the early morning hours, between about 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. There's even a medical term for it, the circadian vulnerability window. That's the period when your body is most susceptible. So what you do in the hours before you fall asleep and the conditions you sleep in can literally determine whether your heart makes it through the night. Let's go through these one by one, and please stay with me through all of them, because number 4 is the one that shocks most people. Let's start with something that almost every household does, especially here in the United States, eating dinner late. Now, I'm not talking about having a small snack. I'm talking about sitting down to a full, heavy meal at 8, 9, sometimes even 10 o'clock at night. Maybe it's fried chicken. Maybe it's a big pasta dish. Maybe it's leftover pot roast with mashed potatoes and gravy. It tastes wonderful. I get it. But here's what's happening inside your body when you eat a large meal and then go to bed shortly after. First, your digestive system kicks into high gear. Your stomach and intestines need a massive amount of blood flow to break down that food. So your heart has to pump harder and faster to redirect blood to your gut. Your heart rate increases. Your blood pressure rises. Second, a heavy meal, especially one high in sodium, fat, or refined carbohydrates, causes a spike in blood sugar and a surge in insulin. This triggers inflammation in your blood vessels. Temporarily, your arteries become less flexible. For someone with existing plaque buildup, this is dangerous territory. Third, lying down with a full stomach can cause acid reflux. Now, acid reflux itself isn't going to cause a heart attack, but here's the sneaky part. The nerve signals from acid reflux can actually mimic and sometimes trigger irregular heart rhythms, a condition called arrhythmia. And arrhythmia, especially in seniors, can lead to cardiac arrest. A study published in the European Heart Journal found that people who ate their main meal within 2 hours of bedtime had a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who finished eating earlier. So here's the practical advice. Try to finish your main meal of the day by 7 o'clock in the evening. At the very latest, give yourself a 3-hour window between your last big meal and the time you lie down. If you do get hungry later, keep it light. A small piece of fruit, a handful of almonds, maybe a cup of warm herbal tea. Your heart will thank you, I promise. Now, this next one is something that could change the lives of millions of seniors overnight, literally. If you take blood pressure medication, let me ask you a question. What time do you take it? Morning? With breakfast? Most people do. And for years, that was the standard medical advice. Take your pill in the morning and go about your day. But here's what newer research has revealed, and it's remarkable. A landmark clinical trial called the Hygia chronotherapy trial, which followed over 19,000 patients, found something stunning. Patients who took at least one of their blood pressure medications at bedtime instead of in the morning had a 45% lower risk of dying from a heart attack or stroke compared to those who took all their medications in the morning. 45%. Let that sink in. Why? Because of something called nocturnal blood pressure dipping. In a healthy person, your blood pressure naturally drops by about 10 to 20% when you sleep. It's called dipping, and it's essential for your heart and blood vessels to recover and repair overnight. But many seniors, especially those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney issues, are what doctors call non-dippers. Their blood pressure doesn't drop at night, it stays high. Or worse, it actually rises while they sleep. And that sustained pressure, hour after hour, in the dead of night, is what damages blood vessel walls, loosens arterial plaque, and sets the stage for a heart attack or stroke. Taking a blood pressure medication in the evening can help restore that natural dip. It provides cardiac protection during the most vulnerable hours. Now, here's my important disclaimer. Do not change your medication schedule on your own. Please. This is a conversation you need to have with your doctor. Some medications are specifically designed for morning use. Some people have conditions where nighttime dosing isn't appropriate, but bring it up. Ask your doctor, would it be better for me to take my blood pressure medication in the evening? You might be amazed at the answer. And listen, if you're finding this information helpful, if even one of these points has made you think, I didn't know that, I want to ask you a small favor. Just tap that subscribe button right now. We put out videos like this every week, specifically designed to help people over 60 live longer, healthier, more informed lives. And drop a comment below telling me which of these points surprised you the most. I read every single comment, and your stories help me create even better content for you. Alright, let's keep going because the next one is critically important. Do you snore? Does your partner tell you that you snore like a freight train? Do you sometimes wake up gasping or choking in the middle of the night? Do you wake up in the morning feeling exhausted even though you slept for 8 hours? If you answered yes to any of those questions, please listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. You may have a condition called obstructive sleep apnea, and it is one of the most dangerous and most underdiagnosed conditions in seniors today. Here's what happens. When you have sleep apnea, the soft tissues in the back of your throat collapse while you sleep. They block your airway, partially or completely. You literally stop breathing, sometimes for 10 seconds, sometimes for 30 seconds, sometimes for over a minute. And during those episodes, your blood oxygen level plummets. Your brain panics and sends a surge of adrenaline and stress hormones to jolt your body awake just enough to restart breathing. Your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure skyrockets, your blood vessels constrict violently, and this doesn't happen once a night. In severe cases, it happens 30, 40, 50 times per hour, every single night, year after year. Can you imagine what that does to your heart? It's like your cardiovascular system is running a marathon while you think you're peacefully sleeping. The American Heart Association has stated clearly that untreated sleep apnea significantly increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, heart failure, and atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that can cause blood clots in the heart. And here's the tragedy. The National Sleep Foundation estimates that approximately 80% of moderate to severe sleep apnea cases in older adults remain undiagnosed. 80%. That means millions of seniors are sleeping with a ticking time bomb inside their chest and don't even know it. What should you do? If you snore heavily, if your partner has ever noticed you stop breathing during sleep, if you wake up with headaches or feel chronically tired despite sleeping, talk to your doctor about a sleep study. It can be done at home now. It's simple. It's painless. And the treatment, usually a CPAP machine, which is just a small device that gently keeps your airway open, is incredibly effective. It can reduce your cardiovascular risk dramatically. Don't ignore the snoring. It's not just annoying. It could be deadly. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and speak directly to you. If you're over 60, or if you're watching this because you care about an elderly parent, a grandparent, a spouse, or a friend, this information could genuinely be life-saving. I don't say that lightly. Every single point in this video is backed by published medical research and endorsed by major cardiology organizations. So please, don't just watch this and move on. Share it. Send the link to your family group chat. Play it for your spouse tonight, because the person who needs to hear this the most might not be searching for it on their own. Alright, let's continue. This is the one that shocks most people. And honestly, it shocked me too when I first learned about it. Most seniors don't drink enough water during the day. That's already a well-known problem. But what many people don't realize is that going to bed dehydrated sets off a dangerous chain reaction inside your bloodstream while you sleep. Here's the science, explained simply. When you're dehydrated, you have less fluid in your blood. That means your blood becomes thicker, more concentrated, more viscous. Think of it like honey instead of water flowing through a straw. Now, during sleep, you naturally lose moisture. You breathe out water vapor all night long. If you sleep in a warm room or under heavy blankets, you sweat. Over 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body can lose a significant amount of fluid without you replacing any of it. So by the early morning hours, around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., your blood is at its thickest. It's most sluggish. And remember what I said earlier about that circadian vulnerability window? This is exactly when your cardiovascular system is already at its weakest. Thick blood moves slowly. It's more likely to form clots, and a blood clot in the wrong place, in a coronary artery feeding your heart, or in a cerebral artery feeding your brain, that's a heart attack or a stroke, right there, while you sleep. A study published in the American Journal of Medical Sciences found a clear correlation between nighttime dehydration and increased blood viscosity, which was associated with higher rates of early morning cardiovascular events. So here's what I recommend. About 30 minutes to an hour before bed, drink a glass of water. Not a huge amount. You don't want to be up all night running to the bathroom. About 8 ounces, 1 standard glass. Just enough to give your body a reserve of fluid to work with overnight. And here's a small tip many people don't know. If you're worried about nighttime bathroom trips, drink your water and then use the bathroom right before you get into bed. That way, your body absorbs what it needs and your bladder starts the night empty. It's such a small, simple thing, a glass of water, but it could be the difference between your blood flowing smoothly through your arteries at 4 a.m. and a clot forming that changes everything. Now, let's talk about your bedroom environment. Specifically, the temperature. This might seem minor. You might think, what does the temperature of my room have to do with my heart? The answer is everything. When your room is too hot, above about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 22 degrees Celsius, your body has to work harder to cool itself down. Your blood vessels dilate. Your heart pumps faster. You sweat, which contributes to the dehydration we just talked about. Your body is under thermal stress, and your cardiovascular system bears the brunt of it. And when your room is too cold, below about 64 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 degrees Celsius, the opposite happens, and it's equally dangerous. Your blood vessels constrict. They tighten and narrow to conserve heat. This drives your blood pressure up. Your heart has to push harder against narrower pipes, and for someone with stiff arteries or existing plaque, that increased pressure can rupture a vulnerable plaque deposit and trigger a heart attack or stroke. Research from the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health found that cold bedroom temperatures were associated with increased blood pressure upon waking and higher cardiovascular event rates, particularly in elderly populations. The sweet spot is between 64 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. That's the range where your body can maintain its core temperature with minimal cardiovascular effort. Here are some practical tips. Use a simple room thermometer. You can get one for a few dollars. Keep it on your nightstand. Use layers of lighter blankets instead of one heavy comforter so you can adjust through the night. If you use a space heater, set a timer so it doesn't overheat the room while you're unconscious. And in summer, a small fan or a slightly cracked window can make a world of difference. Your heart is already working hard enough at night. Don't make it fight the temperature too. Now, I want to add one more point that wasn't originally on my list, but I feel so strongly about it that I have to include it. Watching the news before bed. I know many of you have this as a nightly ritual. You watch the 10 o'clock news, you get upset about politics, crime, the economy, the state of the world, and then you try to fall asleep. But here's what's happening physiologically. When you're stressed or angry or anxious, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These are stress hormones. They increase your heart rate, they raise your blood pressure, they cause inflammation in your arterial walls, and they make your blood more prone to clotting. Going to bed in a state of emotional stress is like pouring gasoline on all the other risk factors we've discussed. It amplifies everything. A study from the European Society of Cardiology found that individuals who experienced anger or emotional upset in the 2 hours before a cardiac event had a significantly higher risk of heart attack compared to those who were calm. My advice? Turn off the news by 9 p.m. Read something gentle. Listen to calming music. Do some slow, deep breathing. Talk to your spouse about happy memories. Pray or meditate if that's part of your life. Whatever brings you peace, do that before bed. Not the news, not social media arguments, not stressful phone calls. Protect your peace at night. Your heart depends on it. All right, let's bring it all together. Let me recap the nighttime habits that could silently be putting your heart and brain at risk while you sleep. Number 1. Eating heavy meals too close to bedtime. Finish your main meal by 7 p.m. or at least 3 hours before you lie down. Number 2. Taking blood pressure medication at the wrong time. Talk to your doctor about whether evening dosing might give you better overnight cardiac protection. Number 3. Ignoring snoring and undiagnosed sleep apnea. Get evaluated. A simple sleep study could reveal a hidden danger that's been lurking for years. Number 4. Going to bed dehydrated. Drink a glass of water before bed to keep your blood from thickening dangerously overnight. Number 5. Sleeping in a room that's too hot or too cold. Keep your bedroom between 64 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal heart safety. And number 6, going to bed stressed, angry, or emotionally worked up. Protect your emotional peace in the evening hours. These are not dramatic, expensive, or complicated changes. They're small, they're simple, and any single one of them could be the thing that keeps your heart beating safely through the night. I think about Harold's story, the man I mentioned at the beginning, and what breaks my heart is that if he had known these things, if someone had told him, if he'd watched a video like this one, he might still be here, teaching his grandkids how to ride a bike, sitting on his porch, laughing with his wife over morning coffee. You're here, you're watching, you do know now, so please, don't let this information sit idle. Act on it. Tonight, if this video opened your eyes to even one thing you didn't know before, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. We are building a community here, a community of seniors and families who believe that knowledge is the best medicine. Share this video right now with someone you love, your spouse, your sibling, your best friend, your adult children who worry about you. Send it in a text, post it on Facebook, play it at the dinner table. You never know whose life it might save. And leave me a comment below. Tell me, which of these habits were you doing without realizing the danger? I want to hear your story. I want to know what surprised you. Because when you share, you help others learn too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting me with your time. And most importantly, thank you for caring enough about your health to stay informed. Take care of your heart tonight. It's been taking care of you your whole life. I'll see you in the next video.